Hey everybody, Ro Panuganti here. This is my second attempt of trying to record a simple vlog, so we're going to see how that goes. I'm assuming I'm in focus. I wanted to talk about a bunch of new things that are going on with my life and with my music, especially because a lot of them aren't going to come out on YouTube. The reason why is because unless I put like a really great YouTube video or like a stream or something clicky, it's very likely that most of my subscribers and or people in general will not see it, and that's okay. I've come to terms with how YouTube works. It's all about what people want to watch. I moved in October. There's been a bit of a hiatus because of that. Also, I worked a lot on commissions. Those will involve my videography, my VFX, and sometimes my music. So just to go down the list briefly, I've been working with Joe Zija on his music. Joe Zija is the voice actor of Claude from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and he's been working on this really cool album and a lot of fun comedy sketches. So I've been doing some editing, some coloring, all sorts of little effects and stuff for him, and it's been giving me a great amount of experience, and all of that stuff is really cool, so please check that out. I also directed my first music video ever for a band. It was a fantastic time working with Disco Cactus, and Disco Cactus makes, I don't even know how they describe their music, but it's funky, jazzy, rock, everything, and video games. So I got to work on You're Lost from their new album, Mania Mode. We put together a great script and storyboards and all this like movie making stuff, and it turned out really great. I truly think that it's a fun watch, and I'm gonna link it. I also have a playlist called like Produced. It's everything that I've mastered or mixed or edited heavily. So it's a great portfolio for me, but it's also a cool way to show some of the things I've worked on. And if you're interested in working with me in any capacity like that, you're welcome to reach out and check that out, just as an idea of what I like to do and what I can do. So that's been one of the things that's been occupying me. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is a brand new album. Now, in 2020, I released Fallen Hero, which is based on Undertale, and it was a double-track album that was released with a different distributor that had a huge release, a lot of fun press, and I had 24 guests. It was amazing. Then some other stuff happened, and then I put off making albums for a while, and I wanted to work on my originals, which is why last year, the only album that really came out was Project Discover. This time, things were a little different. I actually focused more on figuring out, I want to have like a really good pristine sound, and I worked with a different label who wanted to create a vinyl of a video game album that hadn't been created yet. But they gave me the list of songs and the time constraints, and I basically filled in the rest. And it was a very unique kind of challenge for me to have to make an album that I don't get to pick the songs, I don't get to pick the song lengths. But Arwing Odyssey, music from Star Fox 64, is going to be really good. By the time this vlog comes out, you may be able to pre-order it on Bandcamp, or check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, and so on. But I highly, highly, highly request that if you do like it, you do think it's cool, and you want to support me, Bandcamp. If you buy it on Bandcamp, well, first of all, Bandcamp is kind of a free-for-all, and in another video that I've made, that's how to distribute cover music, I've explained you can't just put stuff on Bandcamp. You need to pay ahead of time for licenses, which is just kind of like a legal way of saying that I care about the composer and the composer legally gets their fair share. I did this for Star Fox. Long story short, it's kind of expensive to do this, but it allows me to sell the album on Bandcamp where I can really immediately get the support back. So if you enjoyed it, please check it out on Bandcamp. I also made new t-shirts. I have my merch on Threadless, so if you want a prog metal shirt, the Rogue metal shirt, or a new Star Fox shirt that I have that's Do a Barrel Roll that was designed by my buddy Anthony, you can check those out and a few others on Threadless. I moved my merch, so you probably won't be able to click the link that used to be there, but do check that out. Those are some of the new things that I wanted to share about the Star Fox release. You'll also see some new music videos come out for that too. So, one quick thing I wanted to talk about also was social media. I'm going to stay on Twitter as it stands right now, and I'm going to stay on Instagram. Those are the only two platforms so far where I've been able to share material, get gigs, commissions, so on and so forth. I am on co-host at Ro Panuganti, and I did join Mastodon at Ro Panuganti, but I'm going to put like a a real big foot down. Co-host will be like for blog and longer posts, so I'm only going to make them when I release like a new big video or really need to share some sort of thing. But because these platforms really work for other creators, I don't think that they're going to be of interest to people who are just fans of my music. So I wanted to just share that so that I can answer a question that's coming up a lot. Next year is going to be a little different. I've been working most of this year on other people's things, and while that was a really good experience for me, I didn't make an album. I didn't get to do many things. Now, on my personal life, I got to have, amazing new milestones that many of you have probably figured. But I'm going to start next year a little different. The focus will be on finishing my original album idea, The Universe Show. It'll be my first full-length album. It's not going to be related to Project Discover Story. It's going to be a little bit more, relatable or something. But there's quite a few songs that I've already written and one or two that I've played on streams. So I hope you look forward to some of those, and I'm going to be trying my best to just constantly write, and I'll even be outsourcing production just so that I can make sure I'm completely happy with the final product. Along with that, I'm going to work on Game Raga. Game Raga is kind of like a label idea that I finally created so that I can do my Indian fusion kind of music on its own and not typecast myself. As many of you who have followed me for a while know, I'm a progressive metal musician, and I like to think that that should be something that people associate with me now. Introducing sitars and tabla and stuff as an Indian guitar player in a community that does not have, I suppose, enough diversity in this particular area, it's kind of been challenging. I don't want to be known as this thing because it really does just generate a novelty to, Indian music, and I don't want that to be some trendy thing. I want it just to be another facet of music I can create. So that's why there's a Game Raga label. I'm going to make the first album. It'll be like a mix of songs that you've already heard, hopefully produced, brand new, a few songs that are going to be completely new, and you'll of course remember things like Gobi's Valley from this channel and Garuda Valley. A lot of valleys. So stay tuned for that next year. And last, I'm going to try and remake at least one of my EPs that I've released in the last 5-6 years. The quality of these were, they were good enough for me at the time, but I think competitively speaking and just in general, I could do better, and I would love to do better. And I would like to include new songs on some of these, so please stay tuned for that and let me know if you are in support of something like that. I'm going to time them with some new games that are coming out as well. MAGFest. Once again, I am returning to MAGFest in 2023. If you are going, you're welcome to say hello, and please remember that I'm going to be social distancing because I don't want to get sick like anybody else. But I would very much like to say hello to any and everybody that I can who would like to. I cannot at this time share some of the things that I'm going to be involved with, but on a tangent, I have been looking to perform at more and more live shows, and it's something that I've struggled with because I haven't been able to get a lot of gigs for these. So part of that, I super appreciate all the wonderful people who have gotten me on their shows, on Gaku Overdrive Bonus Stage, video games, music together, VGM together. Those were all phenomenal shows for me, and I felt like there was a lot of great reception, but again, I don't stream every week because I'm busy working on music, so I really do think that I'm going to try to shift gears next year to get more, live gigs and live performances, and hopefully that'll be another avenue to share some of the music that I'm working on all the time, so stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for some of the things that I'm involved with MAGFest in this upcoming year. I will share that on social media, and I will make a YouTube video for it. It might go on my main channel. Just a straight, clear announcement. I am going to be blah, 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 blah. But until I can kind of get all my ducks in a row, I will be attending, and I am very much looking forward to how fun of a convention it's going to be. That's pretty much everything I think I can go over. Again, I haven't been not making music, but I know my output has dropped a lot compared to what it normally would be. And, as a result, it might seem like I'm taking a break, but I really am just shifting a lot of my priorities and how I want to work with music and how I want to work with some videography and things like that. You can always check out new music on Spotify. Sometimes I'm going to have stuff that only comes out on music platforms and not on YouTube. YouTube has been pretty decent to me because I've been taking my time with it, so I'm going to only post videos when they're like really good or really, really exceptional in that way. I'm also going to try to pick up some more collaborations. This year was very, very weak in terms of how much collaborating I was able to do on my channel. But hopefully the result of working really hard on my own is that you see bigger production value and really cool novel things and really fun things. So thank you for watching this update. Sorry it's so long. Treat it like a podcast. Everyone's into those. Oh, and I have been hosting this year Game Groove's Uncovered podcast, which is on Spotify and Apple Music and other podcast platforms. It's part of the Game Grooves label or community, if you will, and basically I've been trying to find people with usually smaller followings, especially smaller followings than my own, but and people with events or albums and cool topics to talk about that would relate more to people into video game music or into music creation at all. So I've gotten to speak with some really, really talented people that you haven't heard of, some people that you have heard of and have listened to their music and games, and it's been a really, really fun time for me. I will be doing my best to keep it up next year, so check all that out. New music, new albums coming out like right now. So check that out, pre-order it. Thank you again for watching my videos, old ones, new ones, for putting my name up for conventions, for putting my name up when it comes to just cool conversations. Stay tuned for more songwriting. Commissions are kind of open right now, so hit me up if you are interested in me playing guitar on your stuff, writing songs for your stuff, video editing or VFX stuff that I might be able to do. And have a good whatever day you're watching this.